All right, so here's the second therapeutic technique, and it's revolving around using the creativity of your mind. Now, the first technique of journaling and tracking the usefulness of your thoughts is really powerful, but sometimes we have these loops that keep playing over and over again, despite being aware that they're not very useful. It can be particularly difficult if you've had this same way of thinking, either negative, unrealistic lines that loop in your head for many, many years, maybe even decades. For that, we'll turn to another form of therapy, like I mentioned, called neuro-linguistic programming. Now, you may have heard of this. It's made its way into pop psychology, self-help, but it's been around for a while, and there's some well-founded research, and if we had time to go into a diatribe, we could share like some really cool stuff that we don't just talk to ourselves, but we play movies in our head. There's tastes and sounds and all this capacity that our memory and our brain can play around with. But there is this mental process that you go through to talk to yourself. If you think about it, that's a pretty creative thing that you do. You generate a voice to yourself. It's something that can seem so real, and it's something that is so real often that it has this immediate effect on how we feel and what we do. This mental process isn't real. It's something that we make up. So you can create an alternative one that can tell you something worth listening to instead. Have you ever thought about this? Now, if you think this is all bullshit, I have a little exercise for you, and it's just you and me, so just humor me for a sec. Close your eyes. Come on. And listen to what your inner voice is saying. It could be anything. Now imagine the voice is coming from a radio. Then turn the volume down till the voice is silent and you can just barely hear it. Then turn it up against the volume is the same as before, and now open your eyes. Okay. Exercise number 2. Close your eyes and do the same thing again, only this time when you turn the volume up, make sure your voice is talking about a different subject. Or you could imagine that you just switch radio stations and you begin to listen to a different program. Now open your eyes. Okay, last one. Close your eyes and listen to what your inner voice is saying. Then in any way you can, imagine you are pushing the voice away from you, way into the distance so it gets quieter and quieter. And pull it back towards you so it gets louder and louder, and choose whether it is talking about the same thing or something different when it comes back. Now, in all 3 of these, could you do it? Of course you could. You have total control over that stuff. You can do all kinds of fun tricks with that. Now, more importantly, you can do whatever you want with that voice, especially if it's not serving you. You can change it into a cartoon character. My favorite is to put my own little detrimental voice into the caricature of Yosemite Sam. Push it so far away that I can't hear it. And then pull it back in and I turn it into the voice of my best friend, reminding me of all the great qualities I have. It's pretty effective. Now the point of this is that none of it's real. It's all created out of your imagination. So you might as well create a voice that's easy to listen to and tells you something rational, meaningful, and useful. So enjoy this exercise, and I'll see you on the other side.